Test 1 2, test 1 2. This is a softball game and we are testing the audio. Test 1 2.
Good morning from here at Mather Park on the campus of Case Western Reserve University, and happy Easter. We have a great softball match ready for you today. I'm Sarazucci, excited to bring you this one, the fourth game of this 4-game series. We've had games on Friday and a rainy Saturday, managed to play a game yesterday, and we'll wrap things up today. The Spartans have won all 3 games so far in this series. Game 1 of a doubleheader on Friday. It was close in the 5th inning. It was 4-4 after the top of the 5th. The Spartans then rattled off 2 3-run innings and closed things out. It was 10-4 was your final. Game 2 followed shortly after, and the Spartans won by run rule 11-1 after a Karen Potts home run sealed things. And then in Game 3 yesterday, it was a wild one, an eventful game, a 6-5 decision for the Spartans, and they took the lead off a couple errors, including a fielding and throwing error on the same play. It would score 3 runs and give the Spartans the lead in the bottom of the 6th after they had fallen behind 5-3. So we'll start this one off for NYU. It's Margot Lesser, the shortstop. Lesser with a hit and a run so far in this series. And in the circle for the Spartans, it's the senior pitcher from Lyman, Colorado, Jenna Yaklich, making her 2nd career start and her 1st here at Mather Park. Started 1 game a year ago at Carnegie Mellon. She's played in just 1 inning so far in this series. Gave up 1 hit, no runs. That was at the end of the 1st game on Friday. This one's grounded. It'll be a base hit into center field, and Margot Lesser's on base. And so Yaklich is a different type of pitcher than what we typically see. Lexi Miskey throws a rise ball. Kylie Hosey specializes in her changeup. Jenna Yaklich throws a drop, so it's a lot different for this infield. You can see Kylie Gross over at second base has to make a play on that ball. It was just out of her reach, and that's going to be the norm when you've got this type of pitch coming in on the regular basis. So Nicole Cicchetti will show bunt, and this one will foul off as Lesser was taking off for second base. Cicchetti, coming in from her second base spot, has had a good series. Started all 3 games, 3 for 6 at the plate. Batted in 1 run, scored 1 herself as well. Following that foul ball, shows bunt once again. Russo, coming over from her first base spot, makes the throw over. Kylie Gross moved over to the bag. They'll advance a runner to second, Lesser in scoring position, and it'll be the first out. Taking a look at this Spartan lineup, mentioned Bella Russo at first, Kai Gross at second base. Over at short, it's Karen Potts. And to round out the infield, Biz Berry at third base. Caitlin Lamb is catching as well. She's a junior from Bolingbrook, Illinois. This brings Lizzie Smith up to bat. First 2 runners, a base hit and then a bunt to advance Margot Lesser. Lizzie Smith also has had a good series, 375. Her average in the 3 games we've played. This one will slice down that left field line and it'll go foul. Biz Berry was waiting for it. Smith on the season, including this series, just 235. Her batting average, 12 hits, 6 runs, including a double. So it's certainly improved in this series. Foul ball makes it an 0-2 count. Pitch from Yaklich, this one high and outside. This is a Spartan team that's won the last 2 UAA conference titles. Last time they won back-to-back was when they won 3 times in a row from 97 to 99. Another high pitch evens the count. After 3 games, they lead the conference right now. Emory and Brandeis have also won the majority of their games. They're 2-1 in conference play. And the Spartans looking to sweep the Violets for the 2nd straight year, to go 4-0 starting their conference play. They come into this one 18-2 on the year, and 4 straight high pitches will send Lizzie Smith to first base. So 2 runners on, still just 1 out. Caitlin Lamb will have a conversation with Yaklich in the circle. 2 roommates. A lot of chemistry built up between the 2 of them. As we await the at-bat from Chloe Stone, first-year infielder from Laguna Niguel, California. Another high pitch outside. 2 runners on, 1 out. So far in 2 of the 3 games NYU has started with the lead, have not been able to hold on to those leads. The only game they didn't was the 11-1 Spartan victory. This one in and out of the glove of Potts. The throw to first. They may get 1 out here, and what looked like it could turn into a double play instead will extend the inning. Potts just juggled it for a second. It was enough for runners to advance to second and third. Had to get the force at first.
Now batting, number 12, Maddie Hand.
Brings up Maddie Hand. Yesterday she was 1 for 3, batted in 2 runs. And we'll have a conversation. Coach Henry out into the circle, and the entire Spartan team will huddle up there. And the long conversation continues. NYU is ready to go. Looking at Maddie Hand's numbers on the season, 265 hitter. And is a senior infielder from Simi Valley, California. 13 hits, including 8 runs. She's got 2 doubles and 4 home runs on the year. First pitch, a strike. Spartans looking to retire the side, get out with 2 runners left in scoring position. The Violets left 4 on base yesterday. One pitch nearly got out of Lamb's grasp. It's low for ball 2. Both outs in this first inning have been grounders. And Maddie Hand content to take a few pitches here. We'll let the count move up to 3-1. This one finds a zone. Full count, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Yaklich looking for her first strikeout of the series. This one inside, Lamb will corral it. It'll be a ball. So we'll have bases loaded here in the top of the first. NYU looking to get on the boards. Just one base hit.
Number 8, Mia Lemon.
That was by the leadoff hitter Margot Lesser into center field. Brings up the left fielder Mia Lemon. First pitch swinging. This will be fouled, I believe, just past that left field line, and NYU was excited. They were going. And it was very close. And you could see that third base umpire waving his hands off. That was just fouled. So the Spartans dodge a bullet there. That would have scored easily 2 runs. After all that, an 0-1 count. Seen a couple of these pitches roll around in the dirt. Lamb's been on top of it today. Lamb did have an error yesterday. High pitch, 2-1. Mia Lemon in this series, just 1 hit, and she would later score. She's 1 for 7 and fouls this one off. 2-2 count, and the Spartans would love a strikeout here. Top of the first. It's been eventful. We've got 3 NYU runners on base. Pitch from Yaklich. Popped up into center field, and Jagoda's got it. And the Spartans will escape that dangerous position. Kella Jagoda closes it out. And with just 1 base hit, 3 runners left on for NYU. No score, the Spartans will get their first chance to bat. So Kella Jagoda will lead off for the Spartans. NYU was unable to score in the top of the first, and Jagoda has not had quite the series that compares to her overall season stats. Go back to that first Friday doubleheader, and she was unable to garner a hit. On the season, she's hitting .303, but in this series, she's just 1 for 11. This one will slap down for a foul. Pitching for NYU, Saw her yesterday as well. It's Carly Cleaver. 3.31 ERA on the year. She's 3-4 in 11 appearances and 6 starts. She's pitched 5 complete games. We saw 3 pitchers in the lineup yesterday for NYU. Emily Stone alongside Jessie Worthman and then Carly Cleaver.
That was a foul. 0-2.
It's an 0-2 pitch for Kella Jagoda. This one well high. Jagoda, a senior center fielder, saw her make that defensive play in the top of the first to end things. This one will go into center field for a base hit. Jagoda will stop at first. It's a single and a leadoff hit for NYU. We've got a leadoff hit for the Spartans as well. And this is certainly a tough part of their lineup, especially just looking at the way these players have played in this series. Their next 5 hitters in the lineup are all batting over 300 in this series alone, including Karen Potts, who's hitting .417. She had her first career home run on Friday. This one inside on the first pitch for a strike. Potts with 5 hits in 12 at-bats. She hit a triple and a home run so far this series, has batted in 4 runs, scored 4 herself. This one will go deep on the left field line. It'll be well fouled. And Potts, before yesterday's game, had a streak of 19 straight to start her career on base. Had a 15-game hit streak. She was on base yesterday as well, but a fielder's choice, so on a technicality, was not on base statistically, but has physically been running the bags in every game so far this season. Potts, the first-year shortstop out of North Potomac, Maryland. Two count. Cleaver on the year has 26 strikeouts and just 10 walks. And maybe thought she had another one, but it'll be a full count. She also has a shutout and a save on the year. This one sent deep into center field. Oh, this could go, and Karen Potts, a 2-run home run. The Spartans with 2 hits to start things off. It's the second career for Karen Potts. Just mentioned moments ago, she had her first on Friday. And a 2-0 lead for the Spartans. And Potts looked just like she did on Friday. That one ended the game, but it was straight into center field, probably about 220 feet out there, and this one was almost identical. So the Spartans dugout continues to celebrate. They've been so excited about this first-year shortstop and the productivity that she's had at the plate. And the lineup only gets harder here if you're NYU, looking at who you face next for the Spartans. You look at Kai Gross on the year, batting .375, and has been no different over the course of this series. Gross had a home run in the first game on Friday. Yesterday was 1 for 4 at the plate. The 2-1 pitch. Gross grounds to short, and the throw to first. She might have beat it. Oh, wow. Kylie Gross showing off her speed, beats the throw from short. 3 straight hits for the Spartans. A single by Jagoda, a home run by Karen Potts, and now a single by Kylie Gross. Talked about over the course of this series how athletic this Spartans lineup is. Gross slides into second. Did Rieger beat the throw? Not this time. So she'll advance a runner. And when you look at this Spartans team, you think of stolen bases and how successful they've been in that category. Surprisingly, just one yesterday. But on Friday, combined in the 2 games, they had 10. Kylie Gross had one of them on Friday. It's Biz Berry at the plate. This one will ground over to second. Gross will go to third. She'll be there with 2 outs.
Now batting, number 25, Elena Steffes.
So quickly through the lineup here as Gross has moved all the way to third. Brings up Elena Steffes. She's hitting .333 in this series, and she has been fantastic. She's got 2 doubles in this series, and she's had plenty more over the course of this season. Another first-year player for this Spartans lineup. She's going to send that one deep for a foul. Coming into the weekend, Steffes led this team with a .476 on base percentage. This is a team that gets on base just under 40% of the time overall. Steffes will swing at that one past Cleaver. She'll have to beat the throw to first. And they're going to call her safe, so that run will count. Kai Gross came home. Steffes beat the throw. That's twice that we've seen runners beat throws, and it looked like the first baseman, Maddie Hand, was just off the base there as Steffes came in. And head coach Noala James will have a conversation with the umpire. And the Spartans are ready to keep going. Talk about speed again. You go back to the beginning of this inning and Kai Gross beating that throw to first. It was 2 straight outs after that, so if Gross doesn't get to first base safely there, the inning is over. So that last play will officially be recorded as an error as Steffes will make it to first base. That's extended the Spartan lead to 3-0.
She's out. She's out. So take the run away.
Oh, and now that conversation is turned. So they're going to call her out now. So it will end the inning. That run now will not count. So we'll go into the second, 2-0. Spartans on top after the Potts home run. So an interesting end to that first inning. Initially what was called safe. Elena Steffes was running into first base. Maddie Hand, the first baseman. The conversation was, did she pull her heel off the bag before Steffes got there? Initially it was called safe. The umpires got together, talked about it, and changed it to an out. So it's 2-0. We initially had it as 3-0 because Kylie Gross would have scored on that play. So that run did not count. So it's 3 hits and 2 runs for the Spartans, including a 2-run home run. 1 hit for NYU. Margot Lesser led us off with a single in that first inning. They loaded the bases after a couple walks, but were unable to score. Here's Emma Aridi at the plate. Aridi, a sophomore, coming over from New Jersey. Aridi yesterday was 0 for 3. Faced both Lexi Miskey and Kylie Hosey. Today against Yaklich, she'll ground one. It'll get by the infield into left.
Now batting, number 20.
For another base hit. So leadoffs in both the first and the second inning have gotten on base. 2 singles for NYU. Brings up Lily Candelaria, the catcher who came in yesterday after Alyssa Quarry, who was catching, was a little bit shaken up. So Candelaria is in the lineup today. And she was 1 for 1 and scored. She's going to show bunt. This one will foul off. Biz Berry was flying in from third base to try and pick that off. If that one popped up any closer to her, that would have been a quick out for Candelaria. Lily on the season, 2 hits in 14 at-bats. Faces this pitch from Yaklich. It'll be a strike. She was showing bunt once again.
Wait, what? She just ran a second.
And as the Spartans were getting set up for the next play, got a runner advancing to second.
She's not in the circle, so you can do that.
So Aridi, excuse me, makes her way to second. Yaklich was still out of the circle, so not officially set for the next play. So that's a free base for NYU. Puts a runner in scoring position. And a pitch that goes wide. Lamb caught it, but it was forced her to turn around. The throw to Biz Berry didn't get there in time, so a runner all the way to third with no outs for NYU. And the Spartan infield will have another conversation. Now the outfield will join them. Aridi advanced when the Spartans were caught napping, and then on a sort of wild pitch, just a little bit out of the reach of Lamb, prevented her from being able to make a throw to third on time. It'll be a 1-2 count for Lily Candelaria. Pitch from Yaklich. This one grounded into left field. It'll be a base hit, and NYU will score 1. An RBI single. Emma Aridi, a great display of base running for her as she gets NYU on the board. It'll be a 2-1 game here in the top of the second.
Now batting, number 16, Claire Carson.
Brings up Claire Carson. Still a runner on first. Nobody out for NYU. Show bunt once again. They were looking to bunt just a few moments ago, and Aridi with some base running advanced to second herself. Here's the bunt look. Lamb will try to go back to first. Gross couldn't get there in time. Candelaria was able to fly back there. Oh, 0-2 count. Still looking for that first strikeout. This one won't be called. One, two for Claire Carson. This time she'll go for it. Foul it off. Claire Carson on the season hitting just 196. It's been a couple long innings for the Spartans here in the first two. Already 38 pitches, now 39 for Jenna Yaklich, making her first career start at Mather Park. Another grounder for a foul. Jenna Yaklich last year tied the program record with 4 saves. Played in 20 games as a pitcher. Officially was just 1-0. A 2.36 ERA. 21 strikeouts, 10 walks. See her in the lineup from time to time as a pinch runner as well. She scored 1 run this season, had 1 a year ago. This one high, it's popped up. Bella Russo by first base tracks it down right in front of that Spartan dugout. And it felt like they needed that first out of the inning. Candelaria will stay on first.
Number 11, Margot Lesser.
And the Violets will go back to the top of their lineup with Margot Lesser, and we may have a pitching change here. It looks like Yaklich will head back to the dugout. Lexi Miskey will come back in for the Spartans. We've seen her in 2 out of the 3 games so far this series. Miskey got her 10th win of the year on Friday, and is the most highly decorated pitcher on this Spartan team, including a second-team All-America honor a year ago. Go back to that first game on Friday. Miskey started and pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 hits and 4 earned runs, struck out 7, and that is the norm for her. And then yesterday in 5 innings, just 3 strikeouts, an oddly low number for her, because a year ago she set the program record for most strikeouts in a single season, and then most strikeouts per 7, 207 Ks last year, averaged just under 10 per 7 innings. So far this season, including this weekend, 96 strikeouts on the year, a 1.89 ERA for Lexi Miskey. So with the Spartans up 2-1, 1 out and the Violets have a runner on first. Lily Candelaria is there, and Margot Lesser. A swing and a miss on the first pitch from Miskey. Lexi Miskey, also a biomedical engineering major here at Case Western Reserve University. She's a junior from Pittsford, New York, up in the Rochester area. Two 2-1 count. Her first batter faced. Margot Lesser led off with a single. She'll foul this one off. A single into center field at the top of the first. Got to third base and was unable to score from there. Lesser on the season, .255 hitter. And there's the first strikeout for Miskey. Lesser goes down swinging. First batter faced, first strikeout. She started Friday's first game with 3 strikeouts in that first inning. Brings up Nicole Cicchetti. Cicchetti walked in her first appearance at the plate. .2-0 pitch from Miskey. Make it 2-1. And the Spartans team very strong in the pitching end of things. Look at them as a team, .225 ERA. Combined 134 strikeouts, have given up just 43 earned runs on the year. There's another one there. Makes it a 2-2 count. NYU left 3 on base in that first inning, trying to avoid leaving another one on here in the second. They left 4 on base in the entire game yesterday. Count is full. NYU led late in yesterday's game. They were tied late in game 1 on Friday. Trying to keep this one close and perhaps pull away at the end. The Spartans have won the last 7 going back to last year. And last year, 3 of those 4 games in Staten Island were shutouts. So far, NYU has scored in all 4 games this time around. Full count pitch outside for ball 4.
Now batting, number 5, Lizzie Smith.
2 runners on, first and second. Look at this run that the Spartans have made. Talk about their UAA success in the last couple years. Go back to 2022, the first time they had won a share of the title since 2014, and then won outright since 1999. That season, these 2 teams played 3 games as well. The Spartans won all of them. Spartans, coming out of the 2021 season, which was canceled due to COVID, have been very successful against this Violets team. This one's popped into right field off the glove of Gross. Can't get the out. One run will come home. Russo throws to third. Can't get there in time. A wild play, and it looked like Gross was going to come down with it. And it was just out of her reach. And NYU will suddenly tie things up. And now their lineup gets a little bit more dangerous. It brings up Chloe Stone. She's got the third highest batting average on this team. She's hitting .280. She's hit a double and a home run this year as well. So NYU has kept a couple of these games close. Again, they have not been able to take down the Spartans. Actually, you go all the way back to 2019 was the last time NYU defeated the Spartans. That was right here at Mather Park. It was a 4-2 victory for the Violets. The Spartans all time are 10-2 here at home against NYU. In fact, the overall series record 21-5. So a 1-1 count. Lexi Miskey coming in here in the top of the second. And Stone will step out of the batter's box for a moment. It's been a long 2 innings here for the Spartans. The pitch count continues to increase. Miskey's already at 18 pitches. NYU tied things up here earlier in the inning. Trying to go to second. The tag. And before that, it was a strikeout either way. They called the runner out at second, so however you want to slice it, it'll end the inning. But again, NYU ties things up 2-2, and the Spartans had a successful first inning on the offensive. We'll see if they can do it again. So a wild ending again to that top of the second. Ended up just being a strikeout for Miskey. So she struck out 2 coming on in relief of Jenna Yaklich. After NYU had scored 1, they added another. So it's a 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the second with Caitlin Lamb at the plate. This one sent fly ball into center at the warning track, and the catch is made. That's Claire Carson in center field, racing back to track it. A different environment today and yesterday compared to what we had on Friday. On Friday it was perfectly clear, sunny skies, but it made the lives harder for those outfielders, especially anyone going towards the right side. So center field, right field, second base, first base certainly. But today and yesterday it's been cloudy. We had some rain yesterday, a little bit last night, and it makes it a little bit easier to track that fly ball. So here's Bella Russo, junior from Amherst, New York. A 1-1 count facing Carly Cleaver. Cleaver, the ace for this Violet team. Changeup falls in. Lamb flied out moments ago, so 1 out for the Violets. The Spartans, when they get hot on the offense, are hard to stop, so trying to keep their rhythm going from the bottom of the first when they scored 2 off a 2-run home run. It was Jagoda, a leadoff single, and then Karen Potts. In fact, the first 3 batters recorded hits for the Spartans have not had one since. The last 4 have been retired. This one inside. Full count for Bella Russo. Russo on the season hitting .286. And in this series, exactly the same. This one pops over to short. Can she beat the throw? This one will be out. Already seen that happen a couple times. A couple close calls at first base. This time, Hand secures it. Kylie Gross, we saw her beat a throw to first. Elena Steffes was close. They initially called her safe, then ruled her out. And Bella Russo, another close one, but this one will be the second out. And it'll bring up Nyla Durham, the first-year right fielder for the Spartans, and she's quick. If she makes contact, she will fly out of the batter's box. That is for certain. In this series, she's 1 for 2 at the plate. She's scored 3 times. We've seen her in some pinch running situations as well. Swing and a miss here for strike 2. Durham has scored 3 times. She hit a double on Friday, which was very close to turning into a triple. This one will go into left field, pops up, and the catch is made by Mia Lemon. So a quick end to the second inning. We'll stay tied, 2-2 ball game heading into the third. 4 hits and 2 runs so far for NYU. The Violets looking to take the lead here in the top of the third. It's Maddie Hand, who was walked in her first plate appearance. First baseman for the Violets. Yesterday batted in 2 runs on her 1 hit. Has a 1-1 count. Maddie Hand on the year, 265. This one high and outside. Lamb has had her work cut out for her catching for the Spartans today, and has done a great job corralling all of these. This one a called strike, 2-2. Lexi Miskey has been solid here so far. 2/3 innings pitched. In the top of the second, came in with 1 out and struck out 2 batters. This one grounded, dribbling over to short, and Karen Potts will make the throw to first. Karen Potts has made a lot of nice plays defensively this series. This is the opening series here at home for the Spartans this season. They were down in Georgia for a weekend and then spent their spring break down in Florida. Played a total of 17 games on the road before getting a chance to play here at Mather Park. Mia Lemon swings and misses the first pitch. And it's a Spartan team who got the chance to play against some nationally ranked opponents. Defeated at the time number 9 Virginia Wesleyan. Lost to East Texas Baptist at the time number 16, but they've jumped all the way up to number 4 in the national rankings. Spartans also defeated number 7 Rowan down in Florida. That was a 4-1 victory. Talk about East Texas Baptist as well, and this year's World Series for Division III will be held down there for the 2nd straight year, and the Spartans will look to make their 2nd ever trip over there. They made it once in 2018. They placed 5th that year, and you can see that banner hanging down just past center field. Spartan team that was disappointed with their finish a year ago. Lost here in the regionals as this one fouls off. They've hosted the regionals now 2 years in a row, both years winning the UAA conference titles. And again, have started this season perfect in UAA play, 3-0 in this series at the top of the conference. And she went, so that'll be a strike. And the 3rd strikeout of the day for Lexi Miskey. So she gets Lemon. It brings up Emma Aridi. Had a single in her only at-bat so far. Would end up scoring. Was an interesting play. She ran to second while the Spartans weren't quite set up, and then stole third base.
Strike.
Slicing past, it's a 1-1 count, and now Coach Henry out having a conversation with her catcher, Caitlin Lamb. Looks like Lamb may have gotten hit by that ball. The umpire stopped play. That's Kathy Graff, the home plate umpire today. Checking to make sure Lamb is all right. And she looks to be saying she is. So Reedy's back. It's a 1-1 count. Miskie's pitch. This one was close to hitting her. It just may have fouled off. Almost looked like Reedy had to block that with the bat. So Miskie already with 3 strikeouts. It's as many as she had yesterday. She'll look for another one here, and she'll get it. All of her outs have been strikeouts so far,
She's so focused, she didn't know.
with the exception of one. And Lexi Miskie will retire the side, so no runs this time for NYU. And we will stay at a 2-2 game with the Spartans coming up to bat. So that last strikeout for Lexi Miskie was also her 100th of the season. She's the second all-time strikeout leader for this Spartan program. She's over 450 for her career. And this is a team in the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. It's now 130 straight games with a strikeout. That goes back to 2021. On the other side, it's Carly Cleaver back in the circle for inning number 3. So far in this one, has given up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. They both came off of a home run. Jagoda started things off with a single, and then Karen Potts, who's on deck, sent her home. No strikeouts, no walks. This one grounded, off the glove. And Jagoda will walk into first base. That was off of the glove of Nicole Cicchetti at second base. She was diving full extension to try and get that. It's not an easy play. So the same situation that we had in the bottom of the first, when Karen Potts hit a home run straight into center. This one will ground, base hit into right field. Jagoda stops at second. She thought about it for a second. Coach Josie Henry's over at third base giving her the signal, and she told her hold even with Jagoda's speed. So 2 base hits, 2 singles here in the bottom of the third for the Spartans. They've got 5 hits now. And it brings up Kylie Gross. She had a single in the bottom of the first as well. She ended up getting left on base. She's got 2 on, always a dangerous position. She'll ground this one. They'll say it's a foul ball before it bounced forward to Cleaver, and Cleaver was ready to get that out at first. So it's 0-1, and Kylie Gross, an all UAA selection a year ago. She'll ground this one straight to first base. They'll go for the double play, and she won't actually. Maddie Hand was looking and wisely did not make a throw. Could have led to an errant play. So they get Gross out at first. Now here's Stevie Rieger. Rieger grounded out in her first at bat. And talk about those all UAA selections mentioned. Of course, Kylie Gross. Kella Jagoda, who's on third base right now, was a first team selection a year ago. Lexi Miskey in the circle for the Spartans as well. And then Amanda Riley, who was co-position player of the year as well. She's actually here this weekend watching her former team take on the NYU Violets. In fact, she lives in New York City now, as Rieger slices this one into center field. 2 runs will come home. Jagoda and Potts score. Stevie Rieger adding to her RBI total. Came into the weekend with 12. And she's added to that here on the 6th hit of the day for the Spartans. They've taken the lead back. It's up to 4-2. I talked to Stevie Rieger earlier this week about how much she's improved from a year ago as she tries to steal second base, but it's a foul. Look at Rieger's numbers this year, including this weekend. 386, has 22 hits in 57 at-bats. She's also got 10 stolen bases, and it's almost a guarantee that she'll go for one here at some point. But Rieger said she doesn't really like looking at the stat sheet. When I mentioned it to her, she said it's probably the only time all season she'll ever look at it. As she goes for second base, diving in, and she'll get there safely. Her batting average coming into the weekend was up from 204 a year ago. Again, mentioned it's 386 on the year, and then this series alone coming into the day, it was 500. She was 4 for 8 with 4 runs as well, as this one is fouled off. She's 1 for 2 today, so staying right at that mark. As Biz Berry at the plate has a chance to send her home with a base hit here. Berry had a really nice day on Friday. In that first game, she was 2 for 4, scored twice. This one up for ball number 2. Berry had a hit yesterday as well. And with 1 out here, she'll foul this one off. Mix of all classes here for the Spartans. Biz Berry, a sophomore. On second base, Stevie Rieger, a senior. They've got a lot of first-year players that we mentioned. This one up and inside. Cleaver still looking for her first strikeout. It would also be her first walk if she sent Berry to first. Again, mentioned she's got 26 strikeouts this year. This one popped up into left field. Rieger will round third. Here's a throw coming home, and Rieger slides in. Berry goes to second. The throw just a little bit off the mark. It would have been a close play. Candelaria had to get off the bag to get to it, so Stevie Rieger scores on the 7th hit of the day for the Spartans. They've extended their lead up to 5-2 on the Biz Berry RBI.
Now batting, number 25, Elena Steffes.
And still with just one out, the Spartans can do more damage. Elena Steffes, who nearly beat a throw to first in her first at-bat. Go back to that Friday game, mentioned Biz Berry had a great performance. Steffes did as well. As the wild pitch will advance Berry to third. Right next to head coach Josie Henry, who's also part of that UAA coaching staff of the year last year in 2023. Just another of the long list of accolades this Spartan team has received the last couple seasons. They have expectations of winning another UAA championship this year. Steffes, a 1-1 count. Cleaver's pitch inside for ball 2. And that'll even the count at 2. This bottom part of the Spartan lineup does not have a hit yet today, and that might change as Steffes sends one into right field. At the warning track, it falls. Berry will come home. Steffes with another double. Mention how many of those she's hit so far this year. Extra base hits. That's the 7th of the year for Steffes, the 7th double, that is. She has a triple as well, and that's hit number 10 of her young career. Elena Steffes has inserted herself into the regular lineup the last couple games and has been absolutely huge for this Spartan team as their lead is extended to 4. It's a 6-2 game now, as we might be seeing a change from NYU. And it looks like Emily Stone is going to come out to the circle. Emily Stone, a pitcher that we've seen twice so far this series. We saw her on Friday in the first game making a start, and then again yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for New York, number 10, Emily Stone.
Between the two games, she's pitched 9 innings, gave up 8 earned runs, 12 hits total, 2 strikeouts, 7 walks. And she's looking to get NYU out of a bit of a disastrous inning for them. Here in the bottom of the 3rd, the Spartans have scored 4 runs to not only retake the lead, but to extend it.
Once again, now batting for Case Western Reserve, number 2, Caitlin Lamb.
Yesterday in 4 innings, Stone gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 1, and walked 4. Comes in with 1 out and a runner on second following that Steffes double. First pitch fouled off by Lamb. Caitlin Lamb comes in on the series hitting .271. Lamb with 13 hits on the year. She scored 5 times. She scored yesterday as part of a wild play that gave the Spartans the lead. It was a play that had 2 errors, a fielding and a throwing error. The Spartans had the bases loaded and all 3 runners scored. As we may see a throw to second, Steffes got well off the bag there. That wild play, the Spartans were down 5-3, so 3 runners scored, and that's where we finished. 6-5 was the final in yesterday's game. It's the closest NYU has been to defeating the Spartans all series, as this one fouled off once again. Keeps the count at 2-2. Lamb was 2 for 3 yesterday. Batted in 1 run. Has a chance to add another to that figure. Got a full count, a runner on second. The Spartans have 8 hits now on the day. Lamb will fly this one out into center. This is going to be caught at the warning track. It's Claire Carson back there in center. A nice play to track that down. You could sense for a moment the Spartans were wondering if that was going to go. We already have seen 1 home run today. The Spartan team, who plays very well here at Mather Park, have not lost a regular season game on this field since the season opener, or the home opener rather, in 2022. That was a loss to Mount Union, as Bella Russo comes back after grounding out her first at bat. Still with a runner on second. This one slices into center field. Steffes will round third, and she'll go for home. They'll score another one. An RBI single for Bella Russo. The 9th hit of the day for the Spartans. And they are on fire right now in this inning. 5 runs coming off here in the bottom of the 3rd. So Russo adds to her RBI total. That's her 7th of the year. Coming on her 15th hit. Has been a regular in this Spartan lineup. Now here in her 3rd season. And that'll bring up Savannah Gazda. She pinch hit yesterday and had a 2 RBI single into center field. Came off in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So she's back on here in the bottom of the third. This one will ground if it stays fair, and that'll retire her as Maddie Hand makes the play at first base. So the Spartans add 5 runs. It's a 7-2 ball game. Have completely rewritten the script heading into the fourth.
For New York, number 22, Lily Candelaria.
So Savannah Gazda pinch hit in the bottom of the third. So Elena Steffes will move into right field for Nyla Durham, as Lily Candelaria will head back to the plate. She's 1 for 1 on the day, batted in 1 run on a single that she hit into left field. That was at the top of the second. Here we are in the top of the fourth, a much different situation as NYU has found themselves in a 5-run hole after a very productive inning for the Spartans offensively. Lexi Miskey came in the top of the second and has struck out 4 batters for 4 of her 5 outs. She's got a 2-1 count here. NYU's got 4 hits as a team. Swing and a miss will make it a 2-2 count. Lexi Miskey, last year's UAA Pitcher of the Year. It was tough to get hits off of her. A 160 batting average against. And that was another program record she set alongside 23 wins. She also holds the program record for single season ERA. That was set actually 2 years ago in her freshman season. 127 was that number, as this one is popped straight up. It's going to go just behind all the stands here at Mather Park. It's a bit of a chilly afternoon, but we've got a good crowd here at Mather here in Game 4 of this UAA series. The Spartans have won all 3 games, as this one's grounded to short, and Potts a routine throw to first to Bella Russo, and that'll get the first one down of the inning.
Number 16, Claire Carson.
Brings up Claire Carson. Carson, the center fielder, who's still searching for her first hit of the series. A player who's typically hitting around 200. She's made a lot of great defensive plays for the Violets in the 3 games we've had so far, including today. She's had an active run, making a couple catches down just by the wall. She faces an 0-2 count here. Miskie's pitch high. That rise ball rose a little too much for her. And another foul ball. Miskey earned her 10th win of the season on Friday, striking out 7 batters in that game. This one's popped up. Miskey will look for it now. Biz Berry will come from her third base spot to make the catch. So that's 2 up, 2 down for NYU. The Spartans will look to get out of this inning quickly as the Violets go back to the top of their lineup with Margot Lesser. Got her 2nd hit of the series, leading off today. Lesser's hitting .255 on the season. As Miskey will make it a 1-2 count. NYU did not have a hit in the 3rd inning. And since Miskey came in, have had just 1. Gross, a tough play, and Bella Russo practically doing the splits to make that catch in time. And it'll just be a ground out. So 3 up, 3 down for NYU, and Lexi Miskey has been solid since entering the game, and she'll keep it at a 7-2 Spartan lead. Kella Jagoda's 2 for 2 on the day. This time she'll face Emily Stone, who came in during that 5-run 3rd inning for the Spartans. Jagoda, who had struggled in this series up until today, she was 1 for 8. And this pitch tight for ball 2. Jagoda's been a big-time player for the Spartans lineup. Has scored in a lot of key moments as she fouls this one off. Okay, overall this season, Jagoda has scored 17 times coming into today. And scored 2 runs, one in the first and then one in the third. That first inning came off a home run, as this one just clips her arm. That'll send Jagoda to first base. And again bring Karen Potts to the plate. Potts, who we mentioned, hit that deep home run into center in the first inning, and that was that Kella Jagoda run. Conversation as it looks like Lily Candelaria catching was a little bit shaken up as well. That ball might have hit the non-gloved hand after it just bounced off of Jagoda's arm. Back to the third inning. This is where we started with a Kella Jagoda single and then Karen Potts singling as well. She would score later. Both of them scored later in the third. As Candelaria gets back behind the plate, conversation with Noala James continues. Kathy Graff, our home plate umpire today, has had a lot of craziness going on for her.
Number 12, Karen Potts.
And she'll give the signal we can resume play, so Karen Potts will step up. Again, she's 2 for 2 on the day. Has had an absolutely incredible series on the season. The top hitter for the Spartans in terms of batting average, hitting .389. She's got the most hits as well. She's got 28. As both teams will huddle up. Violet's in the circle. Coach James out to talk with Emily Stone. Stone, the senior pitcher from Westport, Connecticut. On the year, has pitched 11 innings, including 9 of those coming in this series. Has seen a lot of time, especially last year for the Violets in the circle. Now she's got Karen Potts to deal with Jagoda on first. Jagoda will go for second, diving in, and she's safe. Another stolen base for the Spartans. Something they do so well. For Jagoda, that's the 11th on the season on 13 attempts. So a 1-1 count. Now Potts with a runner in scoring position will ground this one. Jagoda will go. Potts will try to beat the throw. It's a tough catch. They'll say she's safe. Hand was full extension to try and get that. Her foot may have gone off the bag this time. We saw a similar play a couple innings ago.
Number 17, Kylie.
This time Potts is safe. And we we may have another conversation. It looked a lot like that Elena Steffes play we saw in the bottom of the first, as Kathy Graff will go talk to Coach Josie Henry. Runners on the corners. Kylie Gross will get set to bat. Gross hitting .375 on the season and is 1 for 2 so far in this one. Karen Potts showing off some speed of her own, beating that throw to first.
Once again, now batting for the Spartans, number 17, Kylie Gross.
No outs, 2 on for Kai Gross. Gross was 1 for 4 yesterday. Again, is 1 for 2 in this one. As Potts will steal second. Kai Gross also, including today, now on a 14-game hit streak.
I think that was a ball. Nope, it was a strike.
So now 2 runners looking to score off a base hit here. First pitch was a strike. From Stone. Little off speed that time, taken for a foul. No outs and 2 on for the Spartans. Who had 5 hits and 5 runs in the bottom of the third. They have a hit by pitch and then a base hit in this one. This one will go into right field, a ground ball. Jagoda will score. Potts will try to beat the throw home, and she will. So 2 more runs for the Spartans. Kai Gross, a 2-run single. And on the 11th hit of the day for the Spartans,
Now batting, number 20.
they have extended their lead up to 7. It's a 9-2 game. And it brings up Stevie Rieger still with no outs. Rieger, who sent a couple home with a single in the last inning of play, as Kylie Gross will have no trouble getting over to second base. Yet another steal. The Spartans have just been so good at doing that. That's 4 stolen bases on the day. And that leaves Kai Gross just 1 short, tying the program record for stolen bases. Go back to last year, where she was 32 of 32. The team last year in the Spartans, that was 86% of the time successful stealing bases. And coming into this one, it actually improved on that number, 89%. Look at today, they have not been stopped in that category. This entire season, they're now 59 of 66, including the 4 today. So we've got another change. Mentioned Lily Candelaria was a little bit shaken up a couple plays ago. So number 18, Emily Barbieri, the first-year catcher, will come into the game. Barbieri's played in 2 of the 3 games so far this series. So the third catcher we've seen for NYU, the second of the day. Actually, technically the fourth catcher, because the first game, Lizzie Smith, who's in right field, was catching for Emily Stone. So a heavy rotation for the Violets. We've seen Lizzie Smith, Alyssa Quarry, Lily Candelaria, and now Emily Barbieri catching throughout this series for NYU. So Stone will get set to face Rieger. Green light on the first pitch, but she fouls it off. She's got Kai Gross on second base with no outs. Two runs in the bottom of the first, nothing in the second, 5 in the bottom of the third, and already 2 here in the bottom of the fourth for the Spartans. Including this season, where they've started 3-0 here at Mather Park. The last 3 years have lost just 4 games here at home, as this one is drilled down the left field line, but it'll be out for a foul ball. Stevie Rieger, who batted in 2 runs out of the 5 in the third inning. She's a senior from Napoleon, Ohio. The 2-2 pitch. She'll send this one into right field. That's right on the line. It's going to go out for a foul. That would have been a double if that had stayed fair. A little bit of wind here today. Not too crazy for Northeast Ohio. That may have just pushed that one out. Now this one's into left field. This one will stay in and past the fielder's glove. Kai Gross will round into home. Rieger will round second. She'll go for third. And standing up, she'll make it safely. It's going to be a hit for Rieger and a fielding error, as it got just by Mia Lemon. She was looking to scoop it up and couldn't grasp it. So Rieger all the way to third, still with no outs, and the Spartans have extended this lead up to 8.
Now batting number 6, Biz Berry.
And they can continue to do some damage. Biz Berry at the plate again, no outs. First pitch is up high from Stone. And the Spartans, every inning that they have scored in this series, they have scored multiple runs. It really started to blow open for them at the end of game 1 on Friday, where they scored 3 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th, then did not have to bat in the bottom of the 7th. They went 2-3-2, no runs in the 4th, and then 4 in the 5th to close that game out in game 2. Yesterday, a bit of a different story. It was a much closer contest. Scored 3 in the 2nd and then did not score again until the bottom of the 6th. But again, that was heavily assisted by a couple errors. NYU has made a number of errors, in fact, throughout this series. Had 3 in the 2 games on Friday, and then those 2 costly ones yesterday that gave the Spartans a lead, and this one on the previous play has extended the Spartan lead and has moved Stevie Rieger to third base with no outs. Two-two pitch for Barry, and it's a ball. From Stone, this one inside. And a called strikeout.
Now batting, number 25, Elena Steffes.
The Violets needed that, and that's the first strikeout of the day for Emily Stone. In fact, the first strikeout overall as well. Carly Cleaver did not strike out or walk a batter. In fact, NYU has not actually walked anyone between the 2 pitchers. We've seen a hit by pitch, however. That was earlier in this inning when Kella Jagoda would end up scoring. Elena Steffes hit a double her last time out. That sent 1 runner home as well. She'll try to get Stevie Rieger to come home. Rieger's on third. First 3 pitches of the at-bat have been balls. And Steffes will take strike 1. This is the largest lead the Spartans have had since Friday in Game 2 when they took a 10-run lead to end things. Final was 11-1 in that one. And there is the first walk, as Elena Steffes will head to first.
Looks like it's going to be Jordan, number 4.
Emily Stone started 9 games a year ago. Not a big statistical pitcher. Her season best was 3 strikeouts in a single game.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now batting for Case Western Reserve, number 4, Jordan Van Warren.
So we'll have a pinch hitter for the Spartans. Jordan Manwaran will step into the batter's box. And Steffes getting caught in between. Oh, and that throw goes by as Steffes was trying to steal second. Stevie Rieger will come home off of it. Steffes looked like she was a little bit unsure about whether to go or not, and she kind of just trotted over there. And the throw got a little bit past Nicole Cicchetti, and it gave Steffes an easy walk in and Stevie Rieger an easy walk home. This one's grounded for a foul ball. Manwaran 1 for 2 in the series. She played in Game 2 on Friday. She scored a run as well, and then she played yesterday, but only as a pinch runner. She batted in a run on that base hit. She's got a runner in scoring position here with Steffes on second, and still just 1 out for the Spartans. Who've recorded now 3 hits in this inning. and have scored 4 runs to extend the lead to 11-2. In part assisted by a couple errors. The first error moved Stevie Rieger to third, and the second one just moments ago allowed her to score. NYU has committed an error in every game in this series, and the Spartans have certainly capitalized. This one high inside, ball 4, 2 runners on now. As the Spartans get down towards the bottom of their lineup. With Bella Russo, who also drove in a run in her last at-bat in the bottom of the third. 1-run single. She'll let this one go for strike 1. This one dribbles in, a wild pitch that sends runners to second and third. And NYU just having a tough time in the field. And again, the Spartans are capitalizing on every mistake. This is a team ranked 7th in the country in the Case Western Reserve Spartans, as this pass ball is collected before anyone can advance. Steph has thought about coming home, didn't have it. Two 2-1 count now for Russo. She'll swing. She'll get this one into right center. Steffes will come home. We might see another one. Coach Henry will stop Manwaring at third. That ball came back in quickly. It just floated over the head of Cicchetti into right center and sort of just died down in that grass. 29. So Russo with 2 RBIs on the day. As we have another pinch hitter for the Spartans, Kaylin Zuzai. First year from the Woodlands, Texas. Zuzai came in that first game on Friday, drove in a run on a sac fly. Still just 1 out for the Spartans, so plenty of time for them to extend their lead here. It's up to 10 once again for the second time in this series. 4 hits in the inning already, runners on the corners, as Russo was looking to take off for second. A 1 pitch as Russo will try to steal second. She's caught in a rundown. The throw, it'll go home as Manwaring thought about going. She'll try and slide into third. Won't get there. Russo's safe at second because of it. As Russo was in that rundown, Manwaring sort of bailed her out by trying to go home. Margot Lesser, a nice job to notice that and get a throw off to the plate. Barbieri was there, made a throw to third. Emma Reedy was able to tag out Manwaring. So that will be the second out Zuzai with a 1-1 count. Now just Russo on second. And she thought about going to third as that ball was nearly passed by. It's been 2 straight 5-run innings for the Spartans. And again, they can just continue to extend this lead here with Zuzai. Makes it a 3-1 count. Emily Stone up over 50 pitches on the day. This one's deep into left center and over the head of Claire Carson into the wall. And Bella Russo is home safely as Zuzai slides into second. An RBI double for the first year. And make it 6 runs here in the bottom of the 4th, along with 5 hits. Was a hit by pitch that started things off. 33. As we'll have a pinch runner. It's Nyla Durham who started this game in right field. She'll come in and run for Zuzai. As the Spartans go all the way top to bottom in the lineup, and Jagoda, who started, she was the one who was hit by the pitch. That was the first batter faced here in the 4th inning. And we're right back there once again.
No, they're just getting new pitcher, 33, it looks like.
And it looks like we'll have a change for the Violets as well. Maybe seeing the 3rd pitcher of the day. It was Carly Cleaver who started off. Then Emily Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
And now Jana Kramsky.
Number 33, Jana Kramsky.
Kramsky, who pitched 1 2/3 in Game 2 on Friday. Gave up 4 earned runs on 3 hits, no strikeouts, and 3 walks. Kramsky's a senior from Marlboro, New Jersey.
14 for 13. I don't know which team. Yeah, Kayla Nutter's going to hit for Kella Jagoda.
Looks like we may be having a pinch hitter as well. Kella Jagoda's day might be done in the batter's box, as Kayla Nutter is warming up. Nutter's a senior from Cincinnati, West Claremont High School. Nutter making just her 6th appearance of the season. She's got 1 hit and 2 RBIs. So a lot of movement here. So new pitcher, pinch hitter, and a pinch runner. Though Nyla Durham we saw earlier in the game. So Jana Kramsky in the circle. First pitch taken by Nutter for strike 1. Durham's fast. Don't be surprised to see her try and steal third. This season, Nyla Durham 6 for 6 stealing bases, including a couple in this series. Nutter will foul this one off. And if Nutter gets on base, they've got Karen Potts on deck, who's 3 for 3 in this one. And she would have 2 runners on. She's already hit 2 home runs this series one to close out the game on Friday, game 2, and then one earlier today. Durham thought about heading to third, didn't that time. And today's 13 runs are the most on the year for the Spartans. 14 hits, also a season high. This one high. Ball 2. Spartans are an offensive juggernaut when they get going. Mentioned they've already topped 10 runs one time in this series. Actually twice. 10 in the first game on Friday and then 11 in the second one. They scored 11 runs against Catholic as Nutter crushes this one. It'll go into the wall. Durham will come home, and Kayla Nutter an RBI double. 2 hits on the year, 3 runs batted in for the senior. Kayla Nutter celebrating with her teammates in the dugout as Durham comes home to extend this Spartan lead. And when they score, well, we mentioned it earlier, but they can score in a hurry as Jagoda will come back to run for Nutter.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now running at second base for the Spartans, number 13, Kella Jagoda.
So Kramsky still looking to retire the side. Will face Karen Potts. Again, mentioned she's 3 for 3 on the day. And it's just been an incredible start to her Spartan career. 2 runs batted in off that home run. And has scored on her other 2 hits as well. A Spartan team that's won 10 straight and are looking to win 4 straight here to start their UAA conference schedule. Second pitch high for ball number 2. A year ago, the Spartans were 17-2 in conference play, on their way to their second straight UAA conference title. Again, have been particularly successful against this NYU team, as Potts will look at ball 3. Today's the 5th time on the season that the Spartans have topped 10 runs, as Potts will go 4 straight balls
Now batting,
to bring up Kai Gross.
Kylie Gross.
Kai Gross, who's 2 of 3 on the day. Mentioned her hit streak. You can pretty much chalk her up for one every game. She's driven in 2 today, offered 2 hits, and has been a machine in that category as well. Go back to that game against Muskingum, as this one is sent deep into center field. At the wall, the catch is made, and a good catch by Claire Carson to end the inning, but not before 7 runs by the Spartans will extend their lead 14-2 as we'll head to the top of the 5th. So a couple changes for the Spartan lineup. Nyla Durham back in right field where she started this game. Devangi Misra in the circle now, making just her third appearance of the season for the Spartans. She'll face Nicole Cicchetti. First pitch is a strike. So with the Spartans holding currently a 12-run lead, 3 outs will do it. If they lead by 8 or more after 5 innings, the game is over. We saw that rule in effect on Friday in the second game as the Spartans took a 10-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. So here they would not have to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jordan Manwaring also now catching for the Spartans. Saw her enter the game on the offensive side of things. So 2-1 pitch. Cicchetti pops it up to short, and Karen Potts makes the catch. First batter retired for Dev Misra.
Now batting number 5, Lizzie Smith.
On the season, just 2 innings pitched for her. 3 hits given up, just 1 earned run. No strikeouts, 1 walk. She's a sophomore coming over from Virginia. Played 3 games a year ago. Had 1 strikeout, no earned runs. So a young pitcher for the Spartans, just getting her some reps in the rotation. We've seen 3 other pitchers over the course of this series. Jenna Yaklich started the game today. Lexi Miskey came in and did a lot of the work in between, giving up no earned runs between the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. This one's going to be grounded. Kai Gross at second, pops it over to Russo. 2 up, 2 down. 1 more would do it for the Spartans. Kylie Hosey also played on Friday and then again yesterday. She's 8-0 on the season in her 12 appearances, 8 starts. Talked about all the first team UAA selections, and Kylie Hosey was a second team selection to complement the first team and the pitcher of the year, Lexi Miskey. So a very talented lineup for the Spartans, who have made lives tough in the UAA. This one's popped up for a foul ball. It's Stone back to bat. Chloe Stone. The 0-1 from Mr. Lowe. It's a Spartan team, once again, that set season highs today in runs and hits. Coming into the weekend, they were averaging about 5.5 runs per game, about 8 hits. This one's grounded. That'll be a foul ball down the 3rd base line. It all started with a 2-run home run in the 1st inning for Karen Potts. Nothing in the 2nd for the Spartans, but 5 runs in the 3rd and 7 in the 4th. And a called strike 3. Dev Misra with her first strikeout of the season, and that will end the game. Case Western Reserve completes the series sweep to open up their UAA schedule, and they start this one off 4-0 in conference play. 14-2 is your final from Mather Park here today. After an eventful weekend, they won the first game 10-4, then 11-1 in 5, and then 6-5 yesterday. Once again, 14-2 is your final today. The Spartans will be back in action right here on Mather Park next weekend. Another 4-game series against Emory University coming up from down in Atlanta. Friday we'll have a 3 p.m. first pitch Doubleheader on Saturday at 12 and 2, and then Sunday, a week from today, at the same time, 11 a.m. Once again, the Spartans 4-0 in UAA play, 4-0 at Mather Park. Thank you for joining us all weekend here at Case Western Reserve University, and happy Easter from everyone here. I'm Sarzucci. Enjoyed bringing you this broadcast, and we'll see you next weekend.